Good morning on Sunday the 26th of April. This is the 8 a.m. movement snack. If this is the one that you want, stay here. If it's not the one you want, if you're watching these back in order, have a scroll through back the playlist or the Facebook page. This is the preamble, the pre-broadcast broadcast, which lasts about 4 and a bit minutes. Whereby in this live situation now, everyone's arriving into the dining room. If you're watching this after and you don't want this preamble, you can just scroll it along for about 4 minutes to the point where I say 3, 2, 1. For now, I need to welcome our morning guests. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sunday snackers. Got my dad lurking in the back here. Lurking. Wales is in, Northumberland is in. Bob's up for a crowbar. Dyffryn is in. Morning, Chris. Where in the world, please? Somerset is in. Thank you, Diana. Hello. Where in the world? Where in the UK? Morning, Maddie. just enjoying the silence. Just don't want to be too, loud and boisterous in the morning. Come on in when you're ready. Morning, Fareham. Sister Townley's in. Find a space. Where you're going to sit, where you're going to stand. Have you got some external support? Are you ready for 10-ish minutes of additional movement? Mobility routine here in the morning, getting us ready to deploy our body parts into activities of daily living. Morning, Kathy. Hello, Mum. She's in the conservatory. I think we're on about a 2 and a bit minute countdown. Bolton's in. Scotland. Good morning. Greece. Morning, Greece. Chris, don't ask. Don't start. Now that what you've done. Good morning, Sunday snackers. Costas. Costas, where are you? Where are you? Tell us where you're from. Shrewsbury, hello. Dee, what are you doing here? It's 1 a.m. Go back to bed. We can't have a mobility movement snack if you've got to go back to bed, unless you need to practice some rolling to get comfortable. Sunny route number 19, Bristol's in. Crete. It is Costas from Crete. Of course. Okay, 30 seconds and then we're going to get going. For the first one today, remember the aim of the game. The aim of the game is to accumulate minutes. The name of the game is to gain. Come on, we're 35 days in. The cheesy catchphrases are only going to get worse. Are you ready for this? Good idea. Now, Dee, park that thought about rolling. Park that thought and watch this space. Oof, blimey, we've had a flurry of arrivals. Best snacks are in the wee hours. Different kind of snacks, Angela, I think. Right, come on. 3, 2, 1, is it? Is it? That's after my 13 years in Wales, that's all I learned, is it? Come on, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, my name is Bex Townley, and I and Later Life Training are here this morning to welcome you to day 35 of this mission. The first morning snack today. And just to do a quick reset button, because there's new people joining us all of the time. The primary aim of this mission is to accumulate additional movement minutes over and above anything else you are already doing. It's not to replace stuff. It's not saying it's all you need. It's to add things to hopefully sit a little bit less, move a little bit more, or be more active in seated positions. So let's get going with this first 10 minutes today. Usually about 12:13. It's our mobility routine. We do the same stuff every morning. We're trying to learn new routines, try to drip feed information so that you can crowbar this stuff into your days. Let's go. Hello from sleepy Suffolk. Okay, and Simone is sneaking in again. I have no idea what's happening in the comments when I come over here because I can't see. So I hope you're not just talking amongst yourselves. If you could just participate with me, that would make me feel better. Here we go, sit or stand, pick your position. Let's start moving. So in stand, it's here. In sit, it's here. And let me just build on that a little bit. This is our circulation booster, and it lasts about a minute or so. Once we've started to march in stand or sit, march or walk, whatever you prefer to call this, now we're going to go through some thoughts about how we're doing this. Take up support in stand if you have any issues with confidence, with balance. Here's the check. Lift up, lengthen through the centre, open through the chest so that the posture is a little bit more upright. And then consider, how are we moving the feet? And we're trying to optimise ankles, feet and toes. By that I mean to avoid a flat march and really try to articulate ankles, feet and toes. We need ankles, feet and toes to work through us for any standing activity throughout the day. If we can get more mobility out of these things down here, they will serve us better through all standing activities. Bringing in some upper body here, so no body part works in isolation throughout our activities. They all work together and they hopefully work smoothly in a coordinated way. So we're just thinking about these movements a little bit more in the movement snacks. Keep going in stand. Here's the seated options. It's the hip walk forward. This enables us to sit taller, support own postures. We can start the circ boost from the bottom up. Exactly the same points apply to feet, but perhaps more important in this sit position. Using ankles and feet can really help support, yes, the circulation, but it takes the load off the hips here. So I want the ankles to work. Here's the march. Can you see it's from the shoulder? I'm focusing on a steady movement here, rhythmical, but thinking about the range of movement. It's not about quantity, it's not about pace, it's about quality. Take a pause. At the end of that circ boost, that circulation booster, we should feel probably the need to take a deeper breath. That should feel quite good. First deeper breath of the morning perhaps. Shouldn't be breathless, shouldn't be out of breath. Just a steady, just a boost and injection of circulation. Now we're on the mobility movements, and we're going to take step by step through the key landmarks pretty much of the body, i.e. the moving parts, the joints, starting with the shoulders. So if you're in stand position, take up support if you need. Feel strong and confident, so still consider, even though the moving part is this, here's the moving part, everything else still applies. Lifted, active, strong, steady, confident. So we're providing a really great base of support for the moving part to work around. If I come closer so you can see, it's coming up. It's a back and a down, can you see? So it's like this circular movement. And take each one at a time, and we want each of these to be as good as the one before. So slow it right down. 4 or 5 of these maximum. It's the range of motion, and feel how that is for you. Having mobilised this bit, shoulders and a bit of upper back, now we're going to focus a little bit more on the neck. which of course supports all of our head movements. Gaze, our head pretty much drives and really kind of leads the way on any task that we do. So we need the neck to be able to work for us. Can you see I'm taking a slow turn from left to right? Slow is the key word here. It moves in and out of this position and it pauses in the middle. And again, this is the moving part, but everything else still intact. So still lifted, still open. So I'm moving the head on a really strong and supported posture. And you may feel that you're a little bit more, you have more movement on one side than the other. This is usual. Just take your time, don't force it. Take out any speed or momentum and just ease the way around. Okay, just have a little bit of a release. Have an extra little bit of circ boost, an extra little bit of this. And let's move on to our third mobility movement. I'm coming close just so you can see. I don't want you to get onto one knee, it's okay. In sit or stand, have a look. Here it is. So this is our third movement up here in the top end, around shoulders and neck. And as you can see, this is really helping us position the head, ideally in a more optimum position to support posture, to support everyday tasks. And depending on many things, this movement may be quite small or it may feel quite significant to you. It really depends. 3, 4, 5 max, just slow and controlled. And listen, literally listen to your body. How does that feel? Nothing should be painful or uncomfortable. But you might be taking these body parts through bigger ranges of movement than you're used to. So slowly. Okay, good. Now we're down to the big bit, the trunk. So this bit serves us throughout all of our activities of day living. It needs to bend, it needs to reach, it needs to stretch, but most of all it needs to support whatever is happening down in the lower limb or whatever is happening with the arm. So a really key part to maintain mobility and functional strength. These muscles and our muscles in our back hold us upright. For now, we're going to focus on mobilising the spine. Sit tall in the chair. The key point is to anchor the buttocks. In stand, the key point is to anchor the feet and the hips. Wider positions on the feet for balance, and we take a turn around and come back to start point. It keeps moving. Keep using the support if you need. I'm standing this way so you can see. We take the turn and come back. The and is really the written exclamation mark, and come back. The pause is in the middle. Check that you've still got the length, you've still got the lift. Can you see that I take the turn, and for the purposes of this mobility routine, my hips are still. In seated, we have an additional thing. And you may feel that you can get more movement from this in a seated position purely because of the position of the hips in the chair with this anchor here. And of course we have no balance concern or consideration once we sit down. Take the hands with you if you want, or just release the arms to the side. Again, on these mobility movements, 5 maximum, but if we're taking alternating sides, that would be 10 in total. Next trunk movement is the side bend. Standing option, support if you need, keeping that wider base. This is our side bend, down to the side and come back. The pause is in the centre. Down to the side and come back. It's controlled. You should feel, I want you to feel that you can take the bend and come back comfortably. Now, of course, there's a lot of activity here in the centre. This is our muscles pulling us back. So it's important that you stay within movements that you can feel you can come back from. Come back from that. And it's the same in seated. Have a look this way so you can see. Anchor the buttocks as I take the side bend. I want to keep both buttocks even across the chair, disappearing out of shot here. Supporting the hands, or we can reach the hands down. And it's only a sideways move. Keep the length, keep the activity here. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Have a little bit of circ boost in there. Maybe just some smaller movements, a little bit quicker, maybe in the chair. A little bit of fast feet, just to keep that circulation boosted. Prepare us for the day. Here's the next one. It's the third movement of our trio of trunk movements, and it's the extension. Throughout the day, throughout daily life, most of what we do puts us into these bendy, flexy forward positions. And as I'm sure all of us will know, after a while we all get a bit slumpy and saggy. This one is to really help and remind us to come upright, plus we take a little extra extension and then release. Hand here can help guide this. In standing, keep the hips fixed. There shouldn't be any sway or shift in the hips. It's all about what's happening here in the lower part of the back. And my gaze stays forward. I keep looking forward. Feel your way around this. This will be really individual to you, depending on your kind of current habitual postures, shall we say. So in sit, come up more upright, and then if you can, add a bit of an extension and come back out again. Upright, extend, and come out again. So much going on with these relatively small movements that we're all going to move slightly differently, for sure, for lots and lots of reasons. Feel your way around these and just explore what these bigger, fuller range of movements are for you. We're trying to optimize movement. If we can improve movement, all of our activity of daily living will become that little bit easier. Down on ankles then for our last set. In stand with support. Don't want to challenge balance. This is purely at this stage about ankle mobility, and as you can see in the standing option, I'm using the outside leg from the support. I've got some strength and activity going on in that supporting hip, but really this is the action I'm after. Can you see that? I'm trying to get my toe where my heel is. My foot stays slightly in front of the hip. Everything else still applies. Just reminded myself then, I saw myself in the phone, I was getting a bit saggy. Really get that going and have some extension through toes as well. Same on the other side. In seated, either the same activity, all on this lifted posture. Now, if it helps to look what's happening, please do. We get so much information from looking at stuff and vision, and we can self-correct or monitor how we're doing. So it's okay. I want you to look at what's happening. I don't want you to go look ahead. Posture's lifted, I can still have a gaze, I can still have a glance what's happening here. Really important that we can see what is happening so we can learn about how we move. The other option in sit is to take a walk back and then take the ankle mobility here. In these morning sessions, as you know, I go just socks, just so that you can really get feet and toes going. I'm not suggesting for you not to wear shoes if that's better for you. If feet and lower limb not an option, always looking to rehearse and kind of progress this hip walking activity. Really critical mobility movements, in and out of chairs, in and out of bed, on and off the floor, in and out of cars, all those kinds of things. Okay, last little bit, in stand then, anchor the feet, up tall, open. Let's just have a little bit more of this. Really try to add a little bit more range through shoulders. Build it up, same in sit, lift and open, a little bit more through there. And then immediately now when we switch off live, before we go, can you crowbar in, couple of jockey lifts, if seated is your option, or a couple of full stands if that is your option. And throughout the day until 12 o'clock, crowbarring in some extra sit to stands or some slower stand to sits. Okay, how do you feel? That's us mobilised. Hopefully ready for your day. Go round again if you'd like. Don't forget you can watch back on Facebook now. See you at 12. That's our first 10 minutes in the movement benefits bag today. See you at 12, folks. Have a lovely time. Bye.